Thanks for joining us on this Sunday morning. I'm meteorologist Leonard Josiah with a look at your tropical weather update. I'm keeping it real. Definitely, I'm keeping it real because many of you would have thought that as we say goodbye to the month of September, that everything is going to be on the down low. But we're still pretty much in the peak. This particular graphic suggests to us that we are still pretty much in the peak. We're looking at closer to October 1, but we are still, yes, we are on the down curve, but we're still on the higher side. We're still in the peak months. So I still want to keep you very focused there, that we're going to be keeping an eye on the tropics at least right down to the end of November. So at where you are, remain prepared. Let's all move on to the next graphic, and the National Hurricane Center's homepage continues to give us some insight as to where the areas of importance are. Here we are in the Leeward Islands and islands further towards the south. By the way, we're looking at an area of disturbed weather likely to form out of this particular area right here, the western half of the region, including the Gulf of Mexico and the Gulf states. They're going to be keeping their eye on that particular area because they had Hurricane Helene. Now there's another tropical cyclone brewing on their neck of the woods. But for us in the Eastern Caribbean, we're looking at Joyce, this particular hatched area, another yellow area, right? The main development area right now today is pretty much active. We are saying goodbye to Hurricane Isaac, just about to get out of the shot, but we're going to be talking to you a little bit more about that. Right away, you're seeing a curve that's taking place. Let's move on to the next graphic, and I'm going to be showing you this particular wider shot of the Atlantic Ocean. We are right here in the Leeward Islands, the British Virgin Islands, islands further towards the south, including Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago. Islands further towards the west include Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, and you're seeing where Joyce is, just to the northeast of the island chain, that is forecast to move on out towards the open Atlantic. This particular area of high pressure is controlling their movement. Normally, this area of high pressure would have been further towards the west, and it would have controlled a more westerly motion in these tropical system. But we thank goodness that this area of high pressure has retreated towards the east, and because of that, these areas of disturbed weather are taking west-northwesterly and northwesterly motion around this area of high pressure. So Joyce is not going to be a factor to us. Moving on out into the open Atlantic, AL90 is another brewing area that is forecast to follow Joyce, not necessarily going to impact us here in the Eastern Caribbean. And we are seeing another X right there, a tropical wave that is forecast to move off the coast of Africa in the next couple of days, and is forecast to follow this particular system. Why? Because this area of high pressure is too far towards the east, so it's controlling its movement as of right now. We are thanking goodness that there are no tropical tropical storm watches or alerts or warning in place for the Eastern Caribbean. Let's move on to the next graphic, closer to home, the British Virgin Islands and the Leeward Islands. I'm going to be coming back to you, but this is the area of disturbed weather over the western half of the region that is going to be a menace to the western parts of the Caribbean islands. And we're looking at Cuba and Jamaica, going on to the Belize, just off the coast right there. And this particular area is what they will be watching. So closer to home, you're seeing a large spin taking place right here. This large spin is more so in the upper levels of the atmosphere, but it's controlling what the weather conditions on the surface. So this upper level low is creating a bit of instability in our neck of the woods, and already you're seeing some patches of low level clouds on the eastern flank of this area. Some of these high level clouds are pushing towards the north, but they are non-rain producing. But these low level clouds can get some enhancement from this upper level feature, and that is the reason why we are going to be keeping let's say the chances of showers on the higher side. But for right now, let's take you to the next graphic. There are no tropical storm watches or warnings in place. Our threat level indicator suggests that in terms of the wind, little or no threat. In terms of rainfall, little or no threat. Marine conditions, little or no threat. But we are looking at a heat advisory right here. And that heat advisory, let's take it to the next graphic, suggests that there is a excessive heat watch in place, particularly for Antigua and Barbuda. Why? Because the feel-like temperature will get up as high as 38 degrees Celsius or just about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, this is not the measured temperature. It's the feel-like temperature when we add little wind but higher humidities and the higher temperatures. You're going to be feeling, because your perspiration will not necessarily evaporate off of the skin quite readily, so you're going to be feeling a little bit warmer. This particular heat watch will remain in place for the next couple of days because of the likelihood of warmer temperatures. So if you're going to be on the outside, make sure you remain hydrated. Now let's take you on to the next graphic, and we're going to be talking to you about the forecast for today, Sunday. Antigua and Barbuda, a 60% chance of some showers in your neck of the woods. Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, all having the same chances of showers in our neck of the woods. But take a look at your warmer temperatures in Antigua and Barbuda. 34 degrees Celsius, slightly cooler in Montserrat and also for St. Kitts Nevis. But for Anguilla and the British Virgin Islands, we're looking at a 60% chance of showers in their neck of the woods. But for the British Virgin Islands, not necessarily higher, only a 40% chance of some showers, but the temperatures 31 and 32 means that the temperatures in their neck of the wood should be a little bit more manageable. Remember that we are your trusted weather source right here in Antigua and Barbuda. For the Leeward Islands and the British Virgin Islands, if you're on social media, give us a thumbs up or a like. Share this page with individuals so that we can keep them abreast as to the hazardous weather conditions that are likely to take place, if in fact they're going to be taking place here in Antigua and Barbuda. For our hotline, give us a call at 463-4638. And as I leave you, the weather will always change, but you can keep weathering your weather in spite of the weather, whether you like it or not. I'm Leonard Josiah, wishing you a safe and productive day.